just wish for some good shit for somebody.
Okay.
Right? Now, intensify that by 10 by putting your feet on the grass in the soil.
I can make the sun come out, Rod. I've been practicing my butt off ever since.
Yeah, all you gotta do is fucking smile. You light the whole goddamn place up. You don't need no sun.
Make the sun come out. Like, and another thing, because of all the electrical storms, I've been trying to tell a lot of people, because somebody ain't somewhere, it's like, oh, alkali water, drink a lot of alkali water. You don't need to be a battery right now. It's all spring water right now until the electrical storms stop. Because if you notice, if you are like vibrating high, it's burning you out. You're tired. You feel like you've ran a mile. It's the alkali water. Stop drinking it. Pause for a second. Spring water.
Or distilled.
Yeah, distilled.
But,
I can't find distilled water. Which one is better?
It's not. It don't work like that. You got different types of water. You got more different types of water than they want to tell you, and they all do something different.
Okay. Now, I was watching something where they were like, oh, water and oils don't mix, but it's a certain water that's like
pH 11.
pH 11. Why I ain't had no pen and paper sitting here with you, and I know better, and I left it. pH 11. And then
I'm saving the live. You can always come back to it.
And then there's another, how come I can't find anything on the gold that our bodies produce called penoline?
Because they don't want you to know it, because most of it is in cerebral spinal fluid. But they don't call it that when they talk about it. They call it colloidal gold or diatomic gold.
Colloidal gold, diatomic gold. Okay. Next, I know I got like a million questions because I'm always trying to request you to get on live. And I'm like, yo, you don't never. And I got like a million questions for him. All right. Now, Age of Aquarius. Everybody keeps trying to say that it didn't start yet.
It started in 2012 on the Mayan calendar. The Mayan calendar never was changed from the closing of the age. So when you read Edgar Casey, he tell you that around the year, between the years 2012 to 2019, a great teacher was going to come on the scene and begin to teach the world. Also, you can find the same prophecy of Nostradamus, right? So they know that the closing of the age is coming.
Okay.
Then you had the lady Blind Baba from whatever the fuck her name is from Russia, who gave the same prophecy. The eyes of three oracles having the same prophecy over a 2,000-year period is so far to impossible, and all three of them converge in under a 200-year period or 500-year period. That's right? Wild. Right. So now a lot of the skeptics, just Bible thumpers, say that the only reason they all can agree on that prophecy is because there's biblical prophecy in Revelations. Right.
Question.
But yeah.
When you're done, another question. Now, King James's first book was a book on demons. I heard like they had.
It was called the Book of Demonology.
Yes. Now, he was called.
Demons are not what they told you they was. You was lied to about what a demon is.
He went back and sold out like the true like Moorish people for a seat at the throne, and that's how he got the name King James, right? Didn't he sell like all of like the secrets and flip it upside down to put it in the Bible?
No, it was already there. Constantine in 325 AD had a group of priests assemble the Bible. All King James did was commission the scholars of the day to render it from Latin because it had became a Septuagint Vulgate Bible. And they translated it from the Latin to the English, right? And then over the years, they translate directly from the Greek in the New Testament to English and from the Hebrew in the Old Testament in Egypt. In the Old Testament as they begin to revise it. So as they revised it, they didn't refer back to the Latin. They referred back to the Hebrew and the Greek. Okay.
So was the Latin one was more true to self?
No, the Latin one was the one that King James had translated. It was originally in Hebrew and Greek text because the Nicene Council was so-called Hebrews and Greeks.
Okay.
But they was melanated like me and you.
All skin for kin folks. Okay, got that. Now, next question. Manly P. Hall, his book on the secret teachings of all times.
Secret teachings of all ages.
Yes, it's that book. I find that book is like a really good reference point to other books. I felt like he kept it like totally 100 in the book. Is there another book that would be comparable to that book?
Madame Blavatsky's work, the Theosophy, Isis Unveiled is one, and the Secret Doctrine is the other. And then you also got Rudolf Steiner's Anthroposophy that goes into a lot, give you a lot of reference works with it. Madame Blavatsky got reference volumes that separate from the book. That's a whole book.
Okay, so I'm gonna get that. That should be my first one as a matriarch to get that book. So I can start.
No, you should study. You should be looking at tribal structures, right? And you should be looking at okay. So the modern corporate structure, a corporation, all of the board members is the structure to set up the tribe.
Okay.
You assess the skill set of the people involved, and then you know what to make them a minister of.
That's what I'm trying to do right now. That's what I'm like, what craft do you have? What do you bring to the foreground? Now,
a lot of people don't know.
My 3 questions. Now, in your Emerald tablets, I kind of broke it down to there's one part like you have to ask people 3 questions. It's like being a gatekeeper. Who are you? What do you want and where are you going? And depending on how they answer those questions will determine like their place in the tribe or if they should even be. Like, is there a better way?
Those are questions. Those are questions. You know what you just talked about, demonology?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you an explanation about something. Let me get a drink.
Okay. Me too.
Okay. Let's say that your father was reading the book on demonology and applied the information to become successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
It worked because all the demon is a thought form, an egregore that was created a long time ago by priests to teach us how to access higher consciousness. And each one of the demons, you have to put them back on the shelf when you're done with them. If you don't, they come out in the next generation that's not using them. They get angry. You're not using it. And this is why you have to clean up the family tree. You have to be able to ask those 3 questions to the demon in order to put them in check.
But it's happening with people because I asked those 3 questions to people.
The same thing because
what you mean?
The energy, right. So the same energy that goes into creating a personality by opening up demons of the mind, which is opening up apps basically for the human psyche, that was written a long time ago by people that understood the mind on a level that very few of us do it in this era.
Okay.
Right. So those are what you call watcher questions. Right. Women can diffuse a lot of hostile situations with those 3 questions.
They changed my life.
Yeah, you because even in the middle of guy might be coming to rape you, and when you ask him them 3 questions, he gets so fucking confused because you called him on his bullshit before it happened. So his psyche is telling him this is the wrong one to fuck with.
Very true. So in my library that I'm building for the from my yard, Rudolf Steiner's book, I need Madame Blavatsky's book, Isis Unveiled, and I need books on tribal structure. And I need to
now I'm gonna tell you a book that's going to fast track the setup of a tribe, but it's the book that's a manual for setting up a coven.
Okay.
Now, the name of the book is called A Magic Circle, and the name of the author is Yaj Nomalos.
Okay. Spell that.
Nomalos is Solomon spelled backwards. That's how you're going to know you got the right book.
Got it.
Now, remember this for all sisterhoods. The witches' books for setting up ceremonies. That's y'all shit. That's why they was murdering witches and setting them on fire, because these were the wise matriarchs that actually was able to use the powers of nature to keep them off the land. So whenever they found that they was teaching, that's when they struck the women. And they always used the woman to infiltrate them. And that's why they were doing rituals in secret.
I'm a generational scribe. Generational scribe. My family, Wausau tribe, the mound builders. So a lot of my aunts, and a lot of my family. I'm in Jersey, and we go to Salem a lot and everything. And when I was in Salem, like something wild happened to me.
I was talking to the sister last night on the live, and she was in New Jersey, and we was talking. I was telling her that's the side of Shakur land over there. Anybody that get out of line when she send them goons at her, don't call me because I'm not sending no help.
I know.
Because she only gonna fuck the mothers up that's fucking with the babies. That's her number one thing because we can't come back to this shit. So the only way to not come back to it is to clean it up now. Yeah. Our children shouldn't have to fight this fight. This shit should be well cleaned up. My son, 8 years old, by the time he 18, he should be worried about how to spend all this goddamn money we done made.
Very true. No,
that should be the biggest worry he have in his life.
Next question. The FBI just hired all of those black men.
Listen.
By the hundreds and thousands. What's going on?
So they are trying to matriculate them through different forms of the old government to FEMA. FEMA is short for female. The female is going to be the ones that's running FEMA. And they got a group of matriarch sisters from all communities across the land with experience in varying different fields, where this one might be in charge of animal rescue, right? This one might be in charge of disaster relief. This one might be in charge of reorganizing to feed the children.
Okay.
Right. You might have a sister that's a veteran. She's going to be part of the team that's working with the Wounded Warrior Project. Okay. Because they was doing so effectively well with the recovering soldiers that was coming home. They was doing better than the VA. All of the veteran affairs is going to be shifted over to that organization, and they're going to be heavily funded. Okay. Right? Because they understand, because it's ran by veterans that understand the struggle of the veterans. They understand. This is eventually going to phase out because we ain't going to be doing this war shit.
Thanks.
Right? But for right now, we have warriors that suffer and fought in these wars. And now we're going to be using them boots on the ground to help in the community to reorganize as we redistribute the wealth. Okay. So they bring these new recruits into all of these government agencies. All of these agencies are now defunct, been defunct for 3 years. Right? But they still using the template for a training tool to maximize the use of the experience of the aged ones who are leaving. Okay. Right? So you take what you need from the old system so you can transition into the new system, and you learn from the best people in the field with the best intentions to do the best job to give the people that American dream they lied to us about before they dropped this goddamn Plymouth Rock shit on our ass.
Now, another question. Is Trump with us or against us? Because he stole all the federal sealed documents and not giving them back.
Look, he ain't stole nothing. First of all, who loaded up his truck with the documents? Do you know? The same motherfuckers who told the Department of Justice that the documents was missing. They was also in communication with Trump the whole time. And he was like, yeah, sure, come on, get whatever you need. But they wasn't looking for that. That was a smoke screen. Right? Because now they agitating to the point where all of the fraud shit that they trying to keep undercover, he gonna drop the bomb and expose all that shit.
He's so petty. I could see him doing that shit too. Like, oh, get you on, like, oh, everything with a seal on it. Put it in the car. Come on.
He been telling us, look, in his speeches, ever since January, he been saying the same goddamn thing.
The
They
Buffalo
didn't win.
Soldier.
Look, they didn't win the election. He keeps saying it. They didn't win the election.
I knew when they
We
took the
caught him in voter fraud.
It was around
Now,
the Capitol. Old boy had the black pawn on his body. They captured the flag. He had the Buffalo Soldier horns on. He freaking howled through the
I
halls.
did a whole I did a report on it as soon as it happened.
Where is
It's on
it?
my Facebook page.
I'm like, would you look at this? I'm like,
And I did a video on my Ryan Hayes page about a couple of weeks before they took it down. That I was explaining to people occupying Pelosi's desk. And I showed him where he put in the public domain that he was sent by us.
Mm-hmm. Black pawn.
Right? And he told them that he was part of the QAnons. And he told them that he was in special forces in the United States Marines on special assignment. And then he went in there and kicked his feet up and planted the Old Glory, the flag of the land, behind the Admiralty flag to recover the jurisdiction.
Yes. I was like,
So that shift us from Admiralty and maritime jurisdiction and put us back under the law of the land, which is the tribal laws that we had that predate the Constitution. Mm-hmm. But the Constitution has always been in effect ever since we've been here, because part of the chief becoming a chief, he used to have to remember each part of it, and not until it was totally memorized could he attain the office to be a lawgiver in the community, because the Constitution had to be known by heart, because it got to be in your heart.
Okay, with that, what's the significance of Trump pleading the fifth 44 times?
That was a message directly to Malik Angel Bay that he see you and he coming to get you.
I figured that. Nice.
The fifth is the 5-point star, Peace Stone Nation. 44 is Chief Malik Angel Bay angel number.
Nice. I figured that. Now,
so he was letting him know that when I say free Larry Hoover, I mean free motherfucking Chief Malik Angel Bay. Period. I don't just mean because my chief, he ain't the only one of the chiefs. And Mama said ain't no big eyes and no little U's. Big Mama said don't leave no stone unturned. So everywhere I see a chief in crisis, I'm going to fucking say something.
Okay.
And when I say something about one, it applies to all of them, whether they the male chiefs or the female chiefs. And we got more female chiefs than we got male chiefs.
Very true.
That's how we end up having a matriarchal society. I got 26 seconds.
Brittany Garner. What's the significance of her and why are they holding her? Who are they trying to exchange her for? They won't tell us what to exchange for. Like, who are they trying to exchange her for and why? They tricked her into going over there. I think that was a whole setup. And anyway, really? You're going to hold her and she's playing it?
Skull and Bones, right?
Skull and Bones.
Mm-hmm.
Common denominator pops up.
Mm-hmm.
When you say Skull and Bones, you talking pirates.
Oh.
Our land for millennia, for ages, eons, however the fuck they want to say it. But now this is the close of the age, and where they finally allowed the crown prince of heaven and earth to take the test for the 50th galactic seat to be the God seat, male ruler God, with both the mitochondrial birthright from the motherline off of a parthogenic conception of the firstborn of the earthborn, baculate conception, clean birth child, right? So once they understood that that shit had to be unraveled for a motherfucker to know who they is, and then I'm the only one unravel it, then it started making more sense to the people that's watching what's taking place. So the situation now becomes more relaxed, because when the Sweetwater come, that coast, the Gulf Coast, gonna get smacked soon as Nibiru gets far enough out of the position of the orbit to be pulling on the equator, drawing all that water from the underground sources back through back channels to suck it out to the equator. That shit coming back. When that shit come back, it's gonna be a tidal wave running down, a dry